If you've served in the military, this was probably a part of your training that's hard to forget. Gas mask training.
And in the Air Force, trainees undergo this necessary evil during week 4 of their training. Jonathan Cotto takes us behind the gates of Joint Base San Antonio for a look inside the tightly sealed walls of the gas chamber.
He explains why the training is so important.
The gas chamber, a not so fun but necessary element in military training that's been in place for decades.
The significance of it dates all the way back to World War I.
Today, these trainees must successfully complete the Seaburn Defense Course. That's chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear preparedness. In here, trainees are exposed to a concentrated and controlled amount of tear gas.
This building is much more sealed up, much more sound. It also has a built-in filtration system. So while we're in their training, the trainees get a better concentration that gives them a better experience and make sure that they can feel the proper effects of wearing that gas mask correctly.
And if worn incorrectly, trainees will feel the short-lived but painful irritation.
It burns.
Once all of the gas just hits you, it's like a adrenaline rush. Just hits you and your eyes are burning and you're coughing.
A proper seal on the mask, crucial for maximum survivability in a real-world scenario.
This is one of the fundamentals of operating in that overseas environment. We never know what enemy forces could use.
And as unpleasant as it feels, this trainee says it's been an overall positive experience.
Blink, breathe.
I mean, it didn't feel too nice in the moment, but I think if I were ever deployed in any kind of hostile environment, I would absolutely be prepared and trained to do what I need to do to protect myself and help my wingmen if need be.
Part of the reason why this training is so important is so that trainees can establish what they call mask confidence. They need to trust that their gear will work if they ever have to use it.
We learned all about how to check everything, the insides and the outs, make sure everything's secure, done properly, so I am fully confident. If I were deployed tomorrow, I could do what I need to do to be safe.
Reporting Jonathan Cotto, KSAT12 News.
Well, President Joe Biden was in Selma, Alabama today to mark the somber 58th anniversary of Bloody Sunday. In 1965, the late Congressman John Lewis led 600 marchers across the Edmund Pettus Bridge. They were heading to Montgomery, the state capital, to demand an end to voter registration discrimination. Hundreds of the marchers were beaten by white state troopers as they tried to cross the bridge. The attack galvanized the civil rights movement. President Biden says voting rights are still threatened today.
Selma is a reckoning. The right to vote, to have your vote counted, is the threshold of democracy and liberty. With it, anything's possible. Without it, without that right, nothing is possible.
The president has urged Congress to pass the John Lewis Voting Rights Act, which would make it easier for all Americans to vote and reverse efforts by several states to limit ballot access. Well, we are getting a small snippet from the moment a private plane experienced severe turbulence on Friday, leading to the death of one person. That flight now under investigation by the National Transportation Safety Board. This is a recording to the air traffic control tower.
This is a tower with a medical emergency. Landing runway 6. Possible laceration, requesting medical assistance on the runway.
The jet was scheduled to land in Virginia after taking off from New Hampshire. Instead, the pilot diverted to Connecticut due to that sudden medical emergency. The 2 crew members and 3 other passengers survived. A Kansas City-based telecommunications company confirmed they own the aircraft and said the person who died was not an employee, saying in a statement, quote, "We ask for privacy for the family members of those involved."
To politics, the 2023 Conservative Political Action Conference happened this weekend in Oxon Hill, Maryland. The event closed out last night with a speech from former President Donald Trump. CPAC is the annual conference attended by conservative activists and elected officials from across the U.S. The former president spoke for more than 90 minutes, going through a list of pledges for a second term in office, including changing the look of the Republican Party.
In 2016, I declared, "I am your voice." Today I add, "I am your warrior, I am your justice." And for those who have been wronged and betrayed, I am your retribution. I am your retribution.
The former president still claims there was voter fraud in the 2020 presidential election. Last June, though, The U.S. Justice Department announced they uncovered no evidence that could change the outcome of the election.
Another winter storm slams into Northern California. That as areas hit by tornadoes over the weekend work towards recovery. ABC's Rena Roy explains how the storm system will continue and is expected to bring in more snow and rain.
Many residents in San Bernardino County, California are still stranded under as much as 12 feet of snow.
It's really tough. I have a 12-year-old and my mother-in-law in the house.
Many roads still unpassable. Helicopters are the most reliable way to get aid to people trapped on the mountain. ABC's DeMarco Morgan is there.
Now, this is pretty much the story, not just here in Crestline, but other neighboring mountain communities. People trying to dig their way out with the help of neighbors, even strangers pitching in to help.
The National Guard now helping to clear roads in the area. With many stores closed, people are lining up here for food and other supplies. This couple walking an hour and 20 minutes to get here.
That entire side of the lake is there's no one's plowed, the only things that have been plowed have been by the people that live up there.
The McBride family making the difficult decision to trek downhill to the pharmacy after their son ran out of his epilepsy medicine.
It's not necessarily optional for a few days to go without his medicine. We absolutely, that was a hard decision to make.
Gas leaks have sparked numerous fires, the fire department responding to at least 7 incidents in the past week. That same weather system traveled across the country, bringing strong winds, heavy rains, and tornadoes to parts of the South. At least 12 weather-related deaths have been reported. In Bowling Green, Kentucky, winds up to 70 miles per hour bent this White Castle sign in half as it crashed down on a car below. Luckily, no one was injured. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
And thankfully, not to that extent here in South Central Texas. But of course, late last week, Wednesday night and into Thursday night, we did find some severe weather, a couple of strong thunderstorms that were able to drop some small hail here in the San Antonio area, especially Thursday. But that also brought a cold front through the area, and this weekend has been the opposite story. Plenty of sunshine out there. It was chilly this morning, though. We had an official low of 49 degrees here in San Antonio, taking a look at the almanac data, but that is about average for this time of year. Afternoon high, though, well above average. We topped off at 80 officially here in town. Cotulla hit 91 degrees earlier this afternoon, 88 in Carrizo Springs as well as Del Rio. 85 was the high temperature over in Uvalde. Again, we're in the 60s right now here in town. More of that moisture is working back in, which means we are in store for some muggy morning lows and warmer than average highs here over the next few days. We'll have another full look at the week ahead coming up in just a few.
But coming up next, spending money can be fun, but spending it wisely is even better. The do and don't buys for the month of March. Well, you can sure feel it. Spring is in the air, and that means spring cleaning, yard work, and of course, allergies. 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz shows us what products are discounted this month to help you tackle it all.
Spring blooms are just around the corner, and so are sales. Think spring cleanup and spruce up.
March is the first month of the year without any major shopping holidays, but there are still opportunities to save on something you might need right now. Our research has shown that air purifiers and vacuums tend to be especially affordable this month.
Consumer Reports tracks the prices of its top tested products and found these on sale right now. The Samsung JetBot AI is now $679 at Amazon. That's nearly half price. This little robot cleaned up in tests on carpet, bare floors, pet hair, even the corners. Spring allergies and dreaded oak pollen are coming. This Blue Air Protect air purifier is $381 at Best Buy, also half price. In tests, this one got excellent marks for removing dust, smoke, and pollen. And it's about time to bust out the lawn tools. This DeWalt string trimmer is trimmed by about $25 at Amazon. It's now $195. You likely won't need a space heater for a while, but you can save now for later on this Vornado. It's the best overall in Consumer Reports tests. It is now $160 at Amazon. And if your home's windows have seen better days, March can be a great time to invest in shiny new, energy-efficient replacements. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT12 News.
Well, little by little, more details about King Charles's upcoming coronation are making the news, but this time making headlines is who he decided to invite. Find out who that is.
King Charles has invited his son, Prince Harry, and his wife, Meghan Markle, to the coronation. A spokesman for the prince says the couple has not decided whether they will attend. If Harry shows up, it would be the first meeting between Charles and his younger son since Harry deepened the rift in the royal family by revealing family secrets in his best-selling book, Spare. The coronation will take place on May 6th at Westminster Abbey. I say go. You'll have all new material for the next book and the next special, and we'll get to hear all about it and talk about it. You know, why not?
Who knew Tim Gerber was a royal consultant? All right,
Okay.
Before we get any more from him, let's talk about the weather, shall we?
Let's talk about the weather. Yeah, all that going on across that side of the pond. How about this side of the pond?
Good idea.
Speaking of which, take a look at this really cool sunset photo that was sent in from Woodlawn Lake earlier this evening from Taylor McClelland. Beautiful out there. We had some colors in the sky thanks to some high clouds that were streaming in. Even caught the bird there. Absolutely beautiful photo sent in via KSAT Connect. Thank you so much for that. I also bring up the sunset because this time next week, I'm just the messenger, but this time next week, we're probably going to be a little bit more tired out there. Daylight saving time, friendly reminder, does begin next Sunday. Clocks will spring forward an hour. Sunrise on Saturday, 6:48. But once we do spring those clocks forward on Sunday, sunrise is about 7:47 a.m. here in San Antonio. So the sun will rise and then set an hour later after we do spring those clocks forward an hour. Before we can get there again, we do have that potential storm chance, few isolated thunderstorms possible as we see that next front move in later this week. There's an area of low pressure off to our northwest approaching the Pacific Northwest. It's just kind of going to hang out there over the next few days and then slowly start to make its way farther off to the east as we head into the middle to later portions of this week. But again, for us here in San Antonio and South Central Texas, still have some question marks regarding when that front actually arrives. Faster solution from what we've seen in the data today would mean an early Thursday arrival here in San Antonio, but the slower solution would be on Friday. So of course we will need to keep eyes on that after the front does move through, though some drier air and slightly cooler air moves in its wake. But before we can get there, it is going to be a warm and muggy start to the week across South Central Texas. Again, temperatures right now in the 60s for most. In Carrizo Springs. No issues right now in terms of visibility, even around here in the San Antonio area. But again, by tomorrow morning, as we start to see more of that moisture work back into the area, I do think some areas of fog will be possible, some of which could be dense in spots, and it will be a muggier start and a muggier feel just stepping out the door tomorrow in the low 60s here in town. Again, a few sprinkles possible, maybe a few isolated patches of drizzle. Around 66 temperature-wise by 9 a.m., 71 by 11 a.m. And then after we see that morning low-level cloud cover break up just a little bit more sunshine into the afternoon, helping those temperatures climb into the upper 70s and more so low 80s in and around San Antonio. But really into the rest of this week, we're just going to see more of that humidity stick with us, especially through the Wednesday to Thursday time frame before that front actually does punch into South Central Texas. So it will be humid out there in the mornings with daily chances to find more low-level cloud cover building back in, as well as some additional patches of fog. 64 Tuesday morning, 65 Wednesday and into Thursday. And again, those daytime highs do look to climb into the above average low to mid 80s after we start to see some of that sun take back over. So we'll keep eyes on when that front does look to move again. A few isolated storms certainly possible with that, so definitely check back in on the forecast over the next few days. And then after we do see that cooler and drier air, it is looking like maybe some mornings in the low 50s into next weekend, transition to the low to mid 70s for those afternoons, guys.
I am royally excited for rain chances. Tim, aren't you?
Hey, if we're keeping score, the Royals, lottery stories, and stories about the Kardashians are probably my top three I don't want to read.
I know. If the viewers have been with us long enough, they know that.
Yeah, don't like them.
That's why he got to read that story.
Thanks, producer.
A pair of threequels did battle at the weekend box office. Which one came out on top? Find out after the break.
This place, it is yours.
Jesus Revolution fell from 3rd to 5th place, finding $8.7 million. Demon Slayer to the Swordsmith Village, a collection of 3 anime TV episodes presented in theaters, took 4th place with $10.1 million. Cocaine Bear lost some of its buzz, but took 3rd place on ticket sales of $11 million.
So you've been studying the quantum realm.
Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania lost the top spot in its 3rd weekend out. $12.5 million gave the Marvel movie a domestic total of $187 million.
It's a fight, it's a battle.
A first-round knockout for Creed 3. The latest film in the boxing franchise, the directorial debut of star Michael B. Jordan, exceeded expectations, opening with $58.7 million. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
From Cocaine Bears to the San Antonio Brahmas, they played at the Houston Roughnecks tonight. Hines Ward and his guys trying to hand Wade Phillips his first loss of the season.
You okay?
I'm sorry, man. I tried to hold it together.
Okay, all right. Well, not too far from that game, the San Antonio Spurs played the Houston Rockets at the Toyota Center. For more on What's an Instant Replay, please save us, Larry.
So, one of the games was close tonight in Houston.
Okay.
The other one, not so much. That's right. So the Rockets beat the Spurs 122-110 last night at the AT&T Center. San Antonio is looking to return the favor tonight at the Toyota Center, coming up on Instant Replay.
Keldon Johnson, in case the lights go out, we'll see him with those green shoes. And his pass initiates an opening bucket and an and one at that from Malachi Branham.
The Spurs and Rockets faced off for the final time this season, and San Antonio was looking to win the 4-game series with their I-10 rivals. We've got your highlights and post-game reaction.
We tend to spend a lot of our time in Central Europe on these types of occasions. We've got a lot of fans in North America, and I think what we wanted to try to do was give the players a different experience and a little bit of exposure of obviously what North America's got to offer.
It's still 4+ months away, but Sunderland AFC Sporting Director Christian Speakman stopped by a Toyota Field this week to discuss Sunderland's friendly with San Antonio FC later this summer. Plus, there was big-time drama in the XFL this week involving a local player. The Clark Cougars are Class 6A state champs, and your new Scholar Athlete of the Week is from Southside High School. That and much, much more on IR right after the Nightbeat. Tim, you okay?
Yeah, we'll get our nonsense out of the way so you can have the floor.
Don't leave because we're crazy. Okay, we'll be right back.
Larry's perfectly safe.